The art department at Bolinas-Stinson here. Okay, there's a clay shop, a wood shop, a metal shop, and an art shop.
What I remember the most was you could spend like all day in the art shop if you wanted to, as long as you went to the next class all day, or during the week you just had to put in your certain amount of time in each class. It was totally unstructured, but it was really good. It gave everyone the freedom of choice, and it's just amazing that some of the same teachers are still there.
There's so much life that comes out of it, and it affects each of the kids every single year, which is kind of a wonderful thing. That is ongoing about the program, because some teachers you have for 1 year and then you hardly see them again.
It's amazing, and like I say, Harriet's the same as when I was 8, because I was 8 years old when I first came to the school. I think it's more curriculum oriented now than it was when I was going. I think the whole program when I was a kid was more loose, like art was more fun and it was more about just being creative. It was definitely more about art and just creativity.
Kids were actually able to come in and work all day if they wanted to.
It really did feel like a release from school, to go into the art shops.
Yeah, see, with this right here, you can go back over the glasses again and then
It means we don't have to do math, and it's fun.
So like kind of like things to do, like.
Oh, favorite thing to do in it?
Yeah.
Make stuff. Someone else do it.
I just like using all the power tools, and I just like using tools. Like in Whitcroft, I can make something I use in my room, like a bookshelf or something like that, or a desk.
The art shop started in 1972, and it started by community people thinking that the arts were really an important part of what we wanted to teach our kids. And so at that time we had volunteers teaching in all the shops. And at some point when Pat and I were putting the roof on, I remember we were up on the roof, this guy walks up who had hair about out to here, this curly hair. He was 18 at the time. And he said, "Well, what are you doing?" And I said, "Well, we're building this art shop." And he said, "Oh, I'd like to help you do that." And it turned out that was David Van Leeuwen, who's been working here ever since. It's changed. I mean, it has changed over time, but I think what's really changed is the population of the school.
There was at least 200 more kids in Bolinas School back in the early 70s, and the whole population of Bolinas was much bigger, just because of, there were more families living here, and then since the price of real estate just went out the roof, a lot of people sold out and went to live somewhere cheaper, and they took a lot of the kids with them.
Because for many years the population of the school was about, we're going K-8, and it was about 289, 285. It would fluctuate around that number, up or down, for a really long time. And last year we had 115. And so our population has really, really dwindled.
And a lot of families that used to live here and rent their houses are being sold to people that can afford second homes or third homes. And so they actually sit empty, which is such a shame. And where there used to be families with lots of kids in these houses, they're now empty, maybe used 2 or 3 times a year.
And so there's a changing demographic in Bolinas and Stinson. I mean, it's very hard for young people to be able to afford a house. And how that affects the art program is that sometimes we have combined classes. So we have combined classes making up the same population of what years ago was one class. So in that way, there's been an attrition in the art time just because we have fewer kids.
The sad thing is that the art program is the first to get cut. Our culture doesn't value art, and our country doesn't value it. Like, even if you go to Europe, the art program is huge in all the schools. They like have a big art program, you know? So yeah, it's definitely something that needs fighting for.
It's very important to people in our communities, Stinson and Bolinas, that they know that this program is an essential part of this school, this particular school, and what we teach here. People have asked me, do you turn out great artists? You must turn out great artists after the kids are in your shops for 9 years. And it's funny because that's not really what we're trying to do here.
One of the goals is that you learn that you can do things with your own hands.
I would like them to have a confidence to be able to express themselves creatively across the board in the arts and in all the arts, visual, performing arts, in their subject areas, that they're being able to look at the world in a way that is not intimidating, that they can actually approach the world or the problems that are presented to them and know how to get to the resources that they can access to help them solve problems. What we're trying to do is something bigger, and I think the community understands that students understand that even if they don't go out into the world and become artists, there's something about not having a fear of being able to express yourself, not having a fear of being able to draw. You know, when the kids are asked to draw, they don't just go, I can't do that. They just do it.